Hello, I'm just sitting and relaxing, and I was reading in my book and I'm thinking, when am I going to get around to making my YouTube this week and follow up from the art fair? So it's probably a week and a half later. This past weekend I had a workshop at home, and so I spent a few days getting ready for that and had the lovely people gather on Sunday, and it was really beautiful. And as some of you might be wondering, how did I go at the art fair? It went really, really well, and 12 of the 17 have sold, 11 at the fair, and then one right after everything had been packed up. The next day, the gallery sent me an email that somebody had seen the one with the two greyhounds sitting at the table, the bright blues and the fruit bowl, I think, and the eggs in the fry pan, and I'd called it New Farm Sunday morning. And so that was the suburb near the suburb where the art fair was. And so that one sold. And so really, really lovely result. I feel really happy about that. And so the remaining 5 are still available via the gallery. I'll put a link below in case any of you watching this might be curious about that. So I'll flick through all of the ones that sold. There was an interesting story about my big favorite one that you, my friends, will have watched here. Tea with the Birds. Yeah, in the middle of Mother's Day, I actually got a call at the picnic out with my family that somebody was offering to buy it, but they wanted the price to be lowered. And it was a very interesting exercise for me because I've been painting for 25 years, and I sometimes think, my prices really should probably be a lot higher than they are, but I've kept them kind of steady for the most part for a long time now. And, I kind of think, well, the state of the world, etc. And so I don't push them. I don't push them too much. And sometimes that feels a little disappointing because, you put so much effort sometimes, especially into some of these larger ones when you repaint and you go back and there's days, weeks of time getting spent making these pieces. And so then for someone to come along and ask for a significant discount, it can, if you take it personally, it can be quite upsetting. But I think my family were reminding me that some people just are like that in business. It was a gentleman that had that thought, not a lady. And, some people in business think of, you just always can get a better price, etc., etc. And I have to say, I think when you're buying artwork, it should be looked upon a little differently. There's often a whole different amount of energy that's gone into making a painting. At least I know that for me, that's what happens with my work. A lot has gone into making them, a lot of consideration, a lot of time, and 25 years of experience. So on this occasion, I actually had all of that going through my mind, and I just said, no, that is actually one of my really most favorite paintings ever. I love it. I'm really proud of it, and I'm not going to lower the price. And do you know what? 2 minutes later, I got a text to say another lady had come in and she bought it straight away, no problem, no quibbling on the price, and it sold right away. 2 minutes later after me having the conversation that no, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be discounting it. It's a different story if it's a painting that I've had for a long time and I'm not emotionally attached to it at all anymore, and I'm okay for it to maybe be on a sale. That's different. But for this one that you all saw me take to such a different time and had such a big time making it, I'm really glad that I didn't do that. So yeah, I just share that story in case some of you out there are artists, and it's a whole big weird time sometimes valuing your work. So that's what that happened. What else? A couple of the smaller ones are left behind. The little one with Aura Chihuahua at the green sewing machine. The one with the black sewing machine and the two little whippet type greyhound dogs, that sold. And then the one with the lady sitting in the white chair with the greyhound at her feet. That was one of my favourites too. So I was surprised that one is still available as well. The cockatoo came for the quiche is still available. And the large blue and green one with the vessels is available. And the quirky pink vase was one of my first big ones, well, one of my first to sell. So that sold. I thought that was incredible. I was not sure about that one because it was a little bit all over the place, and I wasn't entirely sure that I had stitched it together quite as well as I wanted. But it was lovely for that to happen because it showed me, excellent. I had permission to be a lot more quirky because I'd really like to. I'd really like to take things a little more quirky. So yeah, I'll flick through all the images so that you can revisit them again and show you which ones sold. And yeah, thanks so much for your support and your beautiful messages. And I love how you enjoyed seeing the collection, and the video had such beautiful comments underneath. So that was awesome. And welcome to all of my new subscribers. I had a big bump in subscribers over the last month, and so that's really lovely, and I really appreciate the support. Welcome.